What's up guys, Blade Master here, going to be bringing you another Total War Rome 2 online battle. This is another 1v1 battle that I fought against Ober, who is a wolf prospect. We are going to be fighting in the map of Thapsus, and since that's a different map from what we usually play in, aka Dank Memes, Namadasena, I will provide you a little, mini map thingy that you guys can take a look at. It's pretty flat, it's got a couple of hills, and it's kind of a different map. Pretty basic, yeah, it's a bit tilted to one side, which kind of gives you some sort of downhill if you try and move in from the left to the right. But besides that, it's pretty fine. I have taken Arevaci in this match, and I'm fighting up against Carthage, which is brought by Ober. Now, Arevaci, I want to know what you guys think. First discussion point: is Arevaci a better faction than Lusitani? Now, the reason I asked this, and the reason why, I mean, it might seem like Arevaci is just not as good of a faction as Lusitani because they don't have the same good mid-tier and high-tier melee infantry that the Lusitani have, but they are quite a bit more versatile because of their access to noble cavalry. The noble cavalry, of which I brought 3 in this match, are quite a force to be dealt with because they are basically the exact same as Thracian Royal Cavalry. They have 15 bonus versus large, very heavy, good charge bonus, and their heavy mass makes them quite deadly. And they also have the Celtiberian cavalry, which I think are a better unit than the Scutari, in my personal opinion. Their armor is the same. They have slightly lower health, I believe. No, they have the same amount of health, slightly lower attack, but they are cheaper too, I believe. Yeah, they're quite a bit cheaper, and they have a higher charge bonus. Besides that, they also have the Iberian Spearmen, and these guys are basically Iberian Levy Freemen, and you can't get enough Levy Freemen, right? So these guys are basically the Iberian version of that. So cheap Spearmen are very, very useful in absorbing charges and stuff like that. So in that sense, they've got quite a bit of an upper hand in dealing with enemy cavalry and like using throwaway units like that. Their main weaknesses, at least compared to the Lusitani and as a general faction, are maybe in the fact that their noble fighters, which is their highest elite tier melee infantry, absolutely sucks balls. It's very overpriced and it's not very effective. They don't have shield walls, so they can very easily just get destroyed. Here you can see Ober's late Libyan hoplites are going to charge into my Iberian Spearmen. I'm going to be able to hold them off over there. Before really going over what else about the details about Arevaci, let's go ahead and just jump into battle. I've got a total of 3 Iberian Spearmen, one of whom is holding each flank and then one in the center to prevent from enemy cavalry charges into the front of my rather squishy Scutari line. I've got a total of 4 Scutari and 1 Iberian Swordsman. I've also brought 2 more Iberian Swordsmen, one on either flank, and this Iberian Spearman and Iberian Swordsman are going to be protecting my precious Balearics Slingers, who I've purposely kept on the flanks at the start of the battle. Only brought 2 of them. 3 Noble Cavalry and 4 Celtiberian Cavalry. It forms my cavalry contingent, rather deadly cavalry contingent. As for Carthage, we can see an mercenary Iberian Cavalry, which is moving around on that side. 3 Scutari Cavalry, a total of 3 Balearic Slingers who are kept in the center. 2 African Pikemen in front of them, and a pretty deadly mix of mercenary Samnites and mercenary Scutari forming the front line, with a couple of Gallic warriors on the flanks, and 2 late Libyan hoplites. So I like this build from Ober quite a bit. The melee infantry line is quite deadly. The 2 African pikes is a potential waste of 1400 talents, but they add some flavor, and they can be used pretty well if they're kept in the second line like this. And personally, if you wanted to make it truly competitive, then you'd want to bring more cavalry, remove the Iberian cavalry, bring some Carthaginian cavalry, bring maybe 5 or 6 cavalry, and then maybe even bring an elephant if you so desire. I'm going to charge in with my noble cavalry here, knock down a lot of the mercenary Gallic warriors. He's going to come in with his Iberian cavalry here, but my Balearic Slingers have been firing at them and killing off a lot of them so far. I've turned off fire at will for my Iberian swords. No, I didn't. Shit. So that means a lot of my noble cavalry are going to take unnecessary damage from there. Here I'm going to charge in, not timing this well. My Celtiberian charge didn't knock down a lot of the Scutari, and now he didn't get a proper charge in with his Scutari either. I'm going to be able to pull out my Celtiberian cavalry without taking much casualties at all, which is personally good because that's really what I wanted to do. His Samnite warriors are now locked into even combat with my Scutari, but the sheer force and numbers, strength and numbers for Ober is going to win him that engagement there. Here I'm going to charge in with my Noble Cavalry, knock down some more of those units, coming in with just regular frontal cav charges so that it's easy for me to pull out of those engagements too and cause a decent bit of damage using the heavy, very heavy mass that these guys have. Going to pull back my Celtiberian cavalry. He's going to try and force his way in with this mercenary Scutari cavalry. If they try and attack my Balearic slingers, I'm going to be able to just charge and like just catch them with one Celtiberian, kind of sacrifice it, and then I'm going to come in with an Iberian swordsman and just kill off this Scutari cavalry there. Scutari over here, I've gotten 56 kills. Some of these guys have just not done well. The African pikemen started to do a lot of damage because they're coming in as the second line. That's why that's a very good use of his pikes there. Using them as a second line and then just letting them poke their way through with the help of their Samnites. These Scutari are doing pretty decently. The Samnite warriors are locked in even combat against a unit that's around 100 talents cheaper than them, 150 talents I believe. Noble Cavalry here, attacking and killing off a lot of the Mercenary Scutari Cavalry. That's their high bonus versus cavalry coming into play there. Balearic slingers on the flanks, protected from his slingers, and they're free to do the damage from the flanks onto dangerous units like this Mercenary Scutari Cavalry and potentially the Mercenary Samnite Warriors. Here I'm going to hold off some of his Scutari by charging in with my Celtiberian Cavalry, holding them, letting my Scutari get some more kills before it finally dies. He's won the mainline engagement very clearly, but I still have an Iberian swordsman here, a couple more Iberian swordsmen, and basically a lot of my cavalry is still intact. But this he's just running rampant with his units here, and his Balearic slingers are getting great shots on my Celtiberians, and I'm losing a lot of them in the process. I'm far too I'm not charging in with my noble cavalry quickly enough. I should have just killed off these Balearic slingers using my increased maneuverability. There's no point in bringing a lot of cavalry if you're not going to use them effectively, and I haven't done that so far. But now I'm going to come in with a frontal charge, absorb some missiles, which is pretty terrible, but I'm going to be able to get a lot of his Scutari out of the picture there. He's moving in front with his Balearic slingers because I guess he was... Oh shit, his Balearics are getting good shots on my noble cavalry there. Not good. Iberian swordsman with 143 kills here, and my Balearic slingers... I don't know whom... I'm targeting the general's bodyguard. They're chasing after my Celtiberian cavalry, and they're taking fire from these Balearic slingers in the process. Here, this Balearic is firing into the flank of this African pikeman. I'm going to turn on a quick reload. They've already done a fair bit of damage. Here, I'm going to charge in, knock down, kill off a lot of his units with my noble cavalry, his Balearic slingers. And here, come in with the second noble cavalry and just kill off a lot of these guys. They've done a fair bit of damage though, so far. But by knocking down his skirmish line at this point in the game, I'm basically preventing them from doing too much damage. And here I'm going to come in and just rear charge his Mercenary Scutari with my general. They've done a lot of damage, gotten 105 kills, single XP chevron. Losing quite a few men though, and these Mercenary Samnites have done really, really well. His Mercenary Scutari here with 84 men killed off my Iberian swordsman. My Balearic slinger has been destroying his African pikemen, and now it's just very hard for me to be able to pull this game back. His Samnite warriors down to 96, my noble cavalry down to 40. My Balearic slingers getting good shots, killing off, routed the general, and all of his slingers are basically dead. Now this Celtiberian and noble cavalry are just going to come in and smush this Balearic slinger into pieces. And his Scutari cavalry are chasing away my Balearic slingers. I'm pulling away from them and then rear charging with my Iberian swordsman, I believe. At the very least, holding down those Scutari while my Balearic slingers moves to a much better position. Putting my slingers on the flanks has allowed me to get better angles and has also protected me from the enemy skirmish, the enemy slingers, from just destroying them at the start of the game. They were fewer in number and I didn't really want to engage his slingers. I needed to put all of my ammunition onto his sword line because my sword line was much poorer both in quantity and quality. So now I'm able to get flank shots. This is exactly what I'm saying. I'm getting flank shots, rear shots on his Mercenary Samnites from my Balearic slingers off in the distance. They're on quick reload. They've done quite a number on his infantry. And here, held down the Scutari and then firing in from the distance with my Balearic slingers. They've got 123 kills. They're basically at full strength, around 75 men left out of 90. And they're going to rip that Scutari down to pieces. And isolated units like this is just perfect bait for my noble cavalry to just come in and just destroy on the charge. One of my noble cavalry with 138 kills, my general with 124, and this noble cavalry with 91 kills, but still quite a few men remain. Very shaky anvils here being presented by my Iberian swordsman holding down some of these Samnite warriors while I come in for a rear charge with my Celt-Iberian cavalry. Knocked down quite a few units, so does my noble cavalry, destroying a good bit of these mercenary Samnite warriors. Now he realizes that one of his Scutari cavalry are back from routing, a bit too late in the day. So I'm just going to issue an attack order with my Balearics slinger. I believe that since they're so, damaged, getting even a couple of volleys with my Balearic slingers at this point will be able to kill them off, at least rout them out of the game. And suddenly the game is taking a decisive turn towards, to me basically. My Balearic slingers killing off a lot of those Scutari. They were isolated and then they just got picked off by my slingers on the flanks. And putting my slingers on the flanks kind of has ensured victory for me. Strange enough, I actually thought that I lost this game. But my Iberian swordsmen here are doing pretty decently, and of course my Balearic slingers keeping them on the flanks was a risk, because then the cavalry could have charged in and killed them off. But the fact that I brought a lot of cavalry by myself meant that I could have very easily offset any charging cavalry with my own higher numbers of cavalry. You can almost always expect Carthage to bring max like 4 cavalry, whereas Arevaci with their access to noble cavalry, I'm able to bring a lot more cavalry than I usually would have. And I sort of compensated for the fact that I brought a pretty poor main line. If I brought a total of 6 Scutari and even a couple of noble fighters, one, I would have lacked the maneuverability to kill off these Balearic slingers, who could have then easily picked off my noble fighters. And on the other hand, his Samnite warriors would have been able to defeat my Scutari, and his mercenary Gallic warriors would have been able to kill off my Iberian swordsman in melee. So a standard rush by Arevaci, I don't think would have been able to win out against this Carthage army that Ober brought, and used pretty effectively too. It was just that this Iberian cavalry was a waste. That's 500 talents down the drain. And at the end of the day, one of the African pikes didn't do really well. One of them did pretty decently. So yeah, if he had forsaken 2 of these African pikemen, that's 700 talents. If he brought some Carthaginian cavalry, and just brought a sturdier cavalry line, then I think he could have easily won this game. Well played to Ober. Fun match. And hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and stay tuned for more. Peace.